Okay, this thing's got a Alltruck bodies curtain sider on it. Now I bought this as is. It did have rear doors on it. I've had it fitted with the tail lift. But yeah, I bought the truck, the whole combination as is. I didn't spec it, but it pretty much suited what I wanted. Now I'll put the tail lift down. This is pretty straightforward. Let's key in, on, and then I might actually have to. I don't think I can do this with one hand. Anyway, I'll just put that and turn that. So I loosen. So what I generally do is I'll loosen that so that this comes out nice and easy. I'm not breaking my hand. And then I think it will. So you can see maybe this has got a tilt. You can tilt this up and down however you like to whatever. And then if you look up here, it's got a thing here where you can flick it over and you've got your controller and your feet. So flick it over there. I honestly did not think I would use the foot controls which are on the tail lift. Did not think I'd use them at all because I was so used to the hand control, but I use this all the time. The only thing that annoys me is I've already damaged that button with a crate, but it's an awesome tail lift. You can't believe how much easier the job is when you've got a tail lift this large. It does have these, so I think you kick those over and these pop up. Once I get up there, if I can. You can see these too well. So say if I kick this over and that pops up, stop anything rolling off, I gather. Honestly, I haven't used it. Been more of a pain in the ass as anything. I'm not sure whether I can just take these out or what I can do, but more often than not I'm finding that pallets and that are getting caught on it. That's just damage and stuff. It's a bit of a pain in the ass, but to go up and down you've got to use both feet on the same colour buttons to do whatever. The red will take you down and the black is up. And at the moment the tail lift's sort of set. When I've put it down, I've set it at that kind of angle, which is slightly up. And it'll retain that all the time, that sort of whatsy. So if you're on a, say, facing up a hill and you're unloading something out, you could have that tilted up so that you roll it out of the back of the truck and then onto that slope, so it's kind of level. And then when you put the tail lift down, it'll actually go down to the ground. I don't know if you can see, I'm standing on these two whatsies. And then once it hits at the front, and then it'll just tilt down to the back, and there you have it. So yeah, I generally I'll just have this tail lift tilted up a little bit if I'm facing up a hill, and don't use the stoppers at the back. You know, I'm sure they're handy for some people for something, but not for me. The tail lift's super grippy. You know, like with this metal, the wall or whatever you call it, knurling or whatever they've done to it, crazy grippy. It's really amazing, which is good. You do really want to have like a full level surface to lower this on. You know, if you're sort of half on a slope or something and you've only got part of the tail lift on actually touching the ground, yeah, it's not ideal. It's a pain in the ass, and it's probably not good for the tail lift. You'd be really mindful of where you're putting your pallet jack or your trolley, whatever you're doing. But yeah, look, honestly, from the undertuck tail lift that I had, this thing is a gazillion times better. It's already brought me more work, and really that was the point. Now for the box. Alltruck Bodies box. I think this was made in Victoria. Again, this truck, it's a 23 model that was complianced in 24 that I bought in 25. So it's had a bit of a history. I don't know whether it's always had this box on it. I think it might have had a tray on it originally. There's a bit of a kerfuffle at Rego. But look, it's a, you know, I like the box, and I'll just put my, go back up again. If I go onto the black, so slowly brings us up. And it's a great seal there at the back. The crew that put this together down in Canberra done an awesome job. This is also an additive, so I didn't want to have a solid bulkhead here. I wanted to be able to access all of the back of the tray, so I asked the company to design something, so they put these 4 decent hinges, which is awesome. And then this just, oh my god, just push it and it's on a strut and just folds up. So that gives me the full aperture into the back of the truck, so which is about 2.35 I think. Yeah, and then if I want to pull it down, I'll just pull that, grab the this and then just pull it down. But yeah, the box itself, you probably see I've already taken out a couple of the gates. I've left 2 in. I'm not big on gates, a pain in the ass. I'm not much of a strap sort of person either, even though I've got four load binders across the side underneath the box on a rail. But I'll use rope for pretty much everything else. Things I do like, I'll just step over that rope. Things I do like, one of the reasons I do like this box is it's one of the only ones that I could see that actually had rails up the front, so I can actually tie stuff on, whether it's this, pallets, whatever. Just so much, it's so much easier than rooting around trying to get into the box through the curtains and tie stuff on. If I can tie it on at the front and use this sort of thing, just makes my life easier, especially for what I'm doing. You know, probably if I would want anything, which I could add, I guess, would be probably something, you know, another rail a bit higher, and maybe something, you know, like just a bar that goes just between these ones here and here to another one, just so you had something a bit easier to go across. But look, at the end of the day, that's not, you know, it's not a deal breaker. Like the box is pretty solid, or it seems pretty solid to me. Like it's finished nice. Like it's nicer than my kitchen. It's a 2.4 something aperture inside, so if you look at the rail for the gates up here, like it's a fair distance from here, where I guess the bottom of that rail, to the actual roof. And you can sort of see that even at the back, it really, which is a bit of a shame, because it makes it tough to get pallets, 2.4 pallets in. You know, you're really not going to. So, but yeah, look, the roof is, the top looks really good. It's finished nice with this timber look. It's a bit grubby because I've had it loaded to the hilt with insulation a couple of times. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it though. The floor, checker plate,